How'd you get to the ground?
I just fell.
Did you hit your head at all?
No.
Pass out?
Nope.
Perfect. Did you lower yourself to the ground, or did you...
No, I just came crashing down.
And take your blood pressure. Is this arm okay?
Yep. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm just going to touch on the back of your neck here and your back. You let me know if it hurts, okay?
Yeah, everything's good.
Hi everyone, so as you might have heard, I got injured pretty badly while training about a week ago, and I'm still not sure about the full extent of my injuries, but it's looking like I tore my adductor on my left leg, and I might also have a hernia, but I have to go back to the hospital, get some imaging done, and talk to my doctor to see what's going on, and then from there, we'll see if I need to get surgery or, do anything. But as you could see from the video footage, it was a pretty bad boo-boo that was by far the worst injury I've ever had while training, and I was in so much pain that I couldn't get up and walk, so I had to call the paramedics to wheel me to the hospital. So why did this injury happen? Well, it's quite obvious. I'm vegan, and I take steroids, or at least that's what Secret Agent Blaha, aka our boy Hemingway, thinks. So Jason Blaha recently made a video on the injury that I recently had, and of course he said the most stupid shit imaginable, so I'm gonna try and make this short and sweet, and we're gonna go through his video and explain why he's an idiot.
He's one of those types that uses veganism because he doesn't care about animals. He uses it as a way to express his moral superiority. I can assure you people with his condition, which again, this is common, I notice this in vegans quite a bit, they don't really care about the animals. It's about proving their moral superiority to other humans.
So Jason starts his video off with a character attack, accusing me of not actually caring about the animals and just using veganism to flex my moral superiority. Well, Jason, I didn't realize that you had mind-reading powers. Was that something that you learned at the CIA? And yeah, Jason, I am morally superior to you. Not only because I don't support an animal holocaust, but I'm also not a racist who supports fascist totalitarianism who wants to holocaust Middle Eastern people.
We should have seized all Saudi Arabian assets in this country, declared war on Saudi Arabia, rounded up every one of their citizens living in our country and executed them on public television, and then fired multiple nuclear warheads at that country. We should have destroyed them. We should have literally wiped that goddamn country off the map. They should have gotten nukes, and we should have executed every single citizen of their country sitting in our country and seized all of their assets. We did it before with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I think that was the right choice then, and I think it's the right choice now. We're the type of people that we will just tell Obama, fuck you, you're a Muslim and a terrorist yourself. We're not going to listen to you. They just attacked us here, and we manufacture all of your nukes. We already have our own Air Force and Navy. We're just going to go over and start nuking the Middle East. Fuck them. We're just going to go over to the Middle East and start nuking them ourselves. We'll probably start with Mecca, and then again, Texas being Texas, when the outrage in the Muslim world goes up, any city that we see burning a Texas flag will probably nuke them too. Texas doesn't need your oil. We don't care if the entire Middle East burns. In fact, if it does, we can charge more for our oil. We have enough oil in our reserves right now in Texas to run the entire United States for 5 years. We could just charge more. So it's actually kind of in our best interest for the whole Middle East to burn. I think when you see a woman in a hijab, I think that represents the woman who says, you know what, I'm not going to conform to your way of life. I am going to stay a part of this oppressive religion because I'm in these countries. I have a choice. I don't have to wear this anymore. I have a choice now. Which also means that that person is part of the invasion force. So when I see that woman walking by wearing her hijab, texting, ignoring the person there on the ground while wearing a symbol that says, I will not conform to your society and your way of life. I am okay with being oppressed because that's my path to paradise. That's your potential terrorist. That's what that is. That is a terrorist factory. And I'm just going to call it like it is. She's a terrorist factory. That's what her womb is, because she's going to raise her children in a belief not to conform to this way of life. I think what she's texting is Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Another sword has been put through the heart of an infidel. That's probably what she's texting. And they tend to bolster and not let evolution take its course. They want to bolster and keep certain populations alive and cultures and nations growing all over the world instead of just letting evolution take its course and let them die out on their own, so that we're left with whatever's best, so that whatever's superior just survives organically. Vaccinations, food, foreign aid, all of these things for populations that are only they contribute nothing to the human cause at all. Okay, how can we cut the population in half in this region over here? How do we do it humanely, at least? You know, we don't want to just come in and drop mustard bombs, but how can we do it humanely? And they're not doing anything. These populations are growing rapidly in the third world. We have to exterminate social justice warriors and leftist ideology in our society. We have to make them scared to speak. And the moment anyone tries to disarm these protesters, you are the enemy. I don't care if they're the enemy. The moment you want to disarm them, you become the enemy of the Constitution and the enemy of the Second Amendment, and I think you should be executed for it. I think everyone who is anti-Second Amendment is a traitor to this country. I think they should be tried for treason and executed for it.
So yeah, Jason, I think I have good reason to believe that I'm morally superior to you, even regardless of whether or not I'm vegan. But yeah, we're getting kind of off topic here, aren't we?
You know, people can say all that you want. Well, he's got a bad knee, that's why he gets hurt in leg pressing and stuff. Okay, a bad knee does not cause adductors to tear. Okay, it does not cause adductors to tear. He has now had multiple lower body injuries. And I've said in the past, his diet is a factor. Okay, his diet's a factor. Vegans seem to get hurt a lot. And it makes sense why, because when we think about connective tissue strength, protein matters. Protein quality matters. Total protein intake matters. Everyone goes on and on about protein and muscle growth. Look, it doesn't take that much protein to build muscle. It really doesn't. A lot of you guys out there eat way more protein than you need to maximize muscle growth. Our issue is that with vegans, it's much harder to hit those numbers. And due to low bioavailability, the total amount of amino acids they absorb is lower. But when we start getting into other things, though, it's not just about building muscle. It's about connective tissue. It's about connective tissue. And people who are not getting large amounts of protein or are trying to strength train, they're going to be at higher risk of tears. Their tendons are going to recover slower from training.
And it should come as no surprise that Blaha is talking completely out of his ass. So his first claim was that vegans are at an increased risk of injury, they're more likely to tear their muscles or connective tissue. He provided no evidence for this claim, so I actually tried to look up some research on this topic. It's extremely scarce. The only study I was able to find was a survey from 2019 that looked at collegiate athletes following vegetarian and omnivorous diets, and what they found was athletes following a vegetarian diet were at no greater risk of musculoskeletal injuries compared to those following an omnivorous diet. And actually, if you look at the survey, the vegetarian athletes suffered fewer strains and sprains, and they also found recovery from these injuries were no different for vegetarians. So much for that, Blaha. Blaha also claimed that vegan sources of protein are less bioavailable, so you can't absorb as much. Again, not true. If you take a look at the paper titled Dietary Proteins and Amino Acids in Vegetarian Diets, a Review, the authors found that there is very little evidence at present regarding a marked difference in protein digestibility in humans. The more precise data collected so far in humans, assessing real, specific oroileal nitrogen digestibility, has shown that the differences in the digestibility between plant and animal protein sources are only a few %, contrary to historical findings in rats or determinations using less precise methods in humans. For soy protein isolate, pea protein flour or isolate, wheat flour, and lupine flour, the figures were 89 to 92%, similar to those found for eggs, 91%, or meat, 90 to 94%, and slightly lower than those reported for milk protein at 95%. So this claim that there's this massive disparity in bioavailability between plant and animal sources of protein is completely untrue, and again, Blaha provided no evidence for his claims, and he also claimed that vegans can't build as much muscle. Again, no evidence for his claims. There have been a few trials that have come out recently showing that as long as protein is matched, Vegans do not have a disadvantage when it comes to building muscle. So without any evidence to support any of his claims that a vegan diet is harmful in any way, what does he say next?
This diet is harmful to him. And I believe that. I believe the vegan diet is actually harmful, psychologically harmful. It's the reason they all behave so crazy. Now we could argue that there's correlation there too, because sane people aren't going to be drawn to veganism at the same rate. So again, veganism, it destroys your brain. We've all watched it happen with these people. He's no different. He's actually a textbook example. They get crazier as they go.
And now Blaha is claiming that veganism makes you crazy. It's psychologically harmful. Yeah, again, that's funny coming from a racist who supports fascist totalitarianism, who wants to commit a Holocaust against Middle Eastern people. But not only that, Blaha has admitted to being mentally ill on camera, along with making ridiculous threats, claiming that he wants to torture and kill people, and he fantasizes about murdering foreigners.
Over a decade ago, when I was rethinking some aspects of my life, I had a shotgun barrel in my mouth and had to sit there and weigh out if I was going to pull the trigger or not. So yeah, I'm a little bit fucked up. I'm a little bit crazy. No matter how crazy you guys think I am, and some of you may think I'm crazy, you know what, that's okay. I am a little bit crazy. I don't deny that. Not like I'm in denial of the fact. So what? What's wrong with being a little bit crazy? Okay, because I'm at this level crazy right here. That's about 3 levels above where I'm at. I'm a little crazy. I admit that. I understand that, though. There's a difference between knowing you're a little crazy and not knowing that you're crazy. Said that he would be right here in 20 minutes.
Right
Here I am. See, that was the camera angle. Nowhere to be seen.
Maybe they parked over here, but
I didn't even come out with a rifle. Look, I don't have a rifle. All I have is a pistol. Where's this fucking pussy? What's he fucking
Here, turn
scared
this
of?
way so we can
He's
see
got
your
a
face.
pistol. He's got a pistol. He showed it. That's all I got. I got a pistol, and I didn't put my armor back on. I didn't put a rifle on. Pussy ass talkers. Dude,
Oh,
every
wow.
one of these people who talk shit about me on the internet are pussy as fuck, and they're not real. They're not real. I came out here when the dude said he would be here, ready to blow his fucking brains out. Blow his motherfucking brains out, legally, because he's stalking. I wouldn't do a day in jail for it. When you have a group in Congress and the Senate who can't come up with a balanced budget, they can't balance the budget, we should automatically, we as the taxpayers need to vote this in, they should automatically all be executed. All their families executed, execute all of their offspring, all their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, wipe their entire family line out as punishment. We're the type of people, we're not even going to give you a clean death. We are the type of people that would be like, hey, fuck this Haji. I'm going to shoot him in the gut at 300 yards and let him bleed out for a little while. And then when he's too weak to fight back, me and my friends are going to go pick him up and have a little fun with him and make him fucking talk before we feed him to the pigs. We have every right to kill them. Their lives belong to us the moment they cross that border to do with as we please from a legal perspective. They are in our country illegally. If we want to shoot them in the head, we can do that. It's beautiful. And that's exactly what we should do to the ones we catch who can't work. They're not capable of working that 10 years, then fine, just get rid of them. You know, 9mm bullet to the head in a ditch, problem solved. We could let them pick between execution or 10 years indentured servitude. We could put collars around their neck with a little small explosive device. If they try to take the collar off, run too far from a sensor, or if they try to rebel or become aggressive, you give the wardens the ability to press the button and detonate it. Screw them. We're clearly the superior ones, and they're only trying to denigrate us because they're scared of us. Maybe we need to just get rid of all of them. And like I said, we could arguably justify using the other first world countries that are out there. There are countries that if you're caught inside their country illegally, they execute you. Okay? We could get away with that if we put up a memo 30 days ahead of time. In English, Spanish, several other languages, letting them know they got 30 days to vacate the country. We might have to start looking at cost-effective options. We might have to start going, well, a 30-cent bullet's a lot cheaper than a train ride. Let me understand this correctly. Instead of fixing the problem, you're going to put them in prison so that we can pay billions and billions of dollars more to incarcerate them instead of executing them. Why aren't they doing their jobs? Why is this a criminal justice issue at all? These are foreign invaders. You kill them.
Yeah, so clearly vegans, including myself, aren't the ones having issues with mental illness. I think it's just Blaha. So then Blaha goes on to accuse me of taking steroids.
Seems like Richard gets hurt every time he ups his dose. And I have almost predicted this. I've realized this recently. Some people were saying, oh, Richard came in and did all these reps with 315 on the bench. I'm like, really? Where'd that strength come from after all these years? He must have upped the dose again. Let's see if he gets hurt again. Sure enough, he did.
Yeah, so I think Blaha is a little jealous that I'm benching more than him now, but what can I say? The vegan gains are real. I'm not on steroids. Maybe the soy I've been eating actually does help you build muscle, and it's not as harmful as you think, Blaha. But that's it for the video. Blaha's still a moron. If you like this video, just check out all the links in the description. My OnlyFans, Patreon are linked down below if you want vegan pet food. Again, links are down below, and if you use the discount code, you can get 10% off. And I'm also doing online coaching, so again, links are down in the description. And as always, Mount Bicephalus.
What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.